Hello friends, today I will be taking Human Resource Management subject Unit 5 Performance Appraisal. So first we'll start with meaning of performance appraisal. Performance appraisal as a structured formal interaction between a subordinates and supervisors that usually takes the form of a periodical interview, means annual or semi-annual, in which the work performance of the subordinates is examined and discussed with a view to identify weaknesses and strengths as well as opportunity for improvement and skills development. It means performance appraisal may act as a process which is helping for a firms to evaluate the performance of the employees for a particular job. So evaluation may be taken place on annual basis or semi-annual basis. So performance appraisal also involves the identification, measurement and management of human performance in a organization. A performance appraisal is also defined as a systematic, periodic, and as far as humanly possible, and a rating of an employee's excellence in matter to his present job and his potentiality for a better job. So simple meaning of performance appraisal is nothing but it is an instrument which is used by the firms to evaluate the performance of the employees. Next we'll discuss a process of performance appraisal. So the firm when the firms are engaging to designing a performance appraisals, they need to follow certain steps. So based on certain steps, the firm need to be implement the performance appraisal among the employees. So in that first step is establishing performance standards. So in this step the firms are engaging to designing or setting the goals, or they are engaging to setting the target, or they're setting the standards which is going to be fulfilling by the employees during their performance or during their particular work. Means establishing performance standards is nothing but this may be act as a benchmark for our employees. Based on that, the actual performance is going to be evaluating. So example, standards may be reflect in terms of units. The standards may reflect in terms of the or monetary or monetary or this stands may reflect in terms of completion of a task. Example of regarding the performance standard is, suppose a firm is setting the target in terms of producing 100 units at the end of December month. So this is 100 units is called as a standard, or it's called as a target which is fixed by the firms towards the target or towards the employees who is going to be fulfilling achieving that particular target. So that is called as a establishing performance standards. Means this step is requires setting a criteria to judge the performance of the employee as successful or unsuccessful, and the degree of their contributions to the organizational goals and objectives. So the standards set should be clear or easily understandable and in measurable terms. In case the performance of the employees cannot be measured, or great care should be taken to describe the standards. So second step is communicating the standards. So once set, it is the responsibility of the management to communicate the standards to all the employees of the organization. Means the employees should be informed and the standards should be clearly explained to the organization. So this will help them to understand their roles and to know what exactly is expecting from them. Means the standard should also be communicated to the appraisers or the evaluators if required. The standards also can be modified at this stage itself according to the feedback which they are collecting from the employees or the evaluates. Okay, after setting the standards, after setting the target, or after setting the goals, the management is engaging to communicate the standards, goals or targets towards the employees. And as well as they are also collecting opinion from the employees regarding the standards or targets or the goals, and as well as same standards or targets are going to communicating to the appraisers or evaluators. Why means because the appraisers are that persons who are going to evaluating the performance of the employees. If the appraisers are don't know the standard, then it will difficulty for them to be evaluate the performance of the employees. So because of that, the management is engaging to communicate the standards to the all employees of the organization, as well as the all the evaluators or appraisers who are going to be evaluating the performance of the employees. Okay, so this will be the second stage which we can be see. Next, third stage is measuring the actual performance. The most difficult part of the performance appraisal process is measuring the actual performance of the employees. So that is the work done by the employee during the specific period of the time. So here the employee's actual performance is going to measuring during the specific period of the time. So measuring the actual performance of the employee, it is continuous process, means it involves monitoring the performance throughout the year. Okay, so this stage requires a careful selection of the appropriate techniques for measurement. Whatever the techniques you are going to be using for evaluating a performance of the employees, you should be more careful when you are engaging in selection of the appropriate techniques to evaluate the performance of the employees. So that is called a measuring the actual performance. Next, fourth step is comparing the actual with the desired performance. Means here the actual performance of the employees is compared with the desired or the standard performance which is established by the firm. Means here the comparison tells the differences in the performance of the employees from the standards set. Means the result can show the actual performance being more than the desired performance, or the actual performance being less than the desired performance, which may be reflect as a negative deviation in the organizational performance. So it includes a recalling, evaluating and analysis of the data related to the employees performance. So this is the stage where the firms or managements are engaging to evaluating the actual performance of the employees by comparing the standard performance. As I said in earlier, standards may be 100 units. So here the firms want to know, is it employees are successfully completed to produce 100 units or not, or not, if they have produced or if they are not produced. So that will they will comes to know in the fourth stage. Next is fifth stage is discussing result. So the result of appraisal is communicated. Whatever the analysis are done in a fourth stage, the analysis is going to be communicated and discussed with the employees on one-to-one basis. So the focus of this discussion is on communication and listening. Means the results, the problems and the possible solutions are discussed with the with the aim of problem solving and reaching the employees. The feedback should be given with a positive attitude, as this can have a impact on employees future performance. Means the main purpose of meeting should be solve the problems faced by the employees and motivate the employees to perform the perform better. Means whatever the result they have evaluated in a fourth stage, that result they are going to communicating to the employees, and they are motivating employees to be work hard and improve their performance, which may help for them achieving the particular task or getting the rewards which may be given by the firms. Okay, so the sixth stage is decision making. After communicating with the employees, like the firm is engaging to take a certain decisions, which can be taken either to improve the performance of the employees, or take the required corrective actions, or other related HR decisions. Other related HR decisions may be like giving a rewards in terms of promotions, or giving a demotions due to the poor performance, or the transfer. So these are certain HR decisions are going to taken by the management based on the performance of the employees. So these are certain processes we can be seen in the case of performance appraisal. So next we will discuss methods of performance appraisal. So performance appraisal method is divided two types. One is a traditional method and second is modern method. So traditional method is divided under the 7 different subheads. The first is graphic rating scales. So graphic rating scale is also known as a simple rating scale or linear scale, where they represent the appraisers with a list of traits we assume to be necessary to successful job performance. Means the traits may be like, according to the firm, the employee should have a adaptability skill. He should be mature when during his work. He should be always motivated towards the particular work, and he should be cooperate with the other employees when he is engaging to perform the particular job. So these are the certain traits, certain parameters are listed by the firm, and that list they are handing to the appraiser. So based on that list, appraisers they are engaging for allocating a point for a employees based on each traits or each parameter. So that is called as a graphic rating scale. Okay, so second is state rating or ranking method. So this is the very simplest and oldest method of performance appraisal. With the state ranking approach, all employees are ranked from best to worst on the basis of comparative overall performance. Means this kind of the ranking method is adopted by the small enterprises with the just a few employees. So since involves ranking ordering, it necessarily intentions to assessment errors, or particularly remove all the errors which will occurs during the uh, uh, performance of the employees. So third is paired comparison method. Under the paid comparison method, the managers appraisers compare the each employees with other employees on at a time. Means in a paid comparison method, appraisers are going to be comparing the each employee's performance with the other employees. Example, there are a few employees named as a B, C, D and E. The performance of the A is first compared with the B, and the decision is made about whose performance is better. Then A is compared with C, D and E in that order. So the same process is repeated for other employees. Then the number of comparison may be calculated, and the best performer would be ranked based on the comparative rating ranking done. So that is called as a paid comparison method. Okay, so next is critical incident method. Okay, under this method, the managers prepare the list of statement which is describing a behavior of the employee in terms of very effective or it may be ineffective. Means these critical incidents or events that may represent the outstanding or poor behavior of the employee on the particular job. Means here the managers maintain log or record on each employee, whereby he or she periodically record a critical incidents of the workers behaviors. Okay, at the end of the rating period, these recorded critical incidents are used in the evaluation of the workers performance. So example I can be give good critical incidents of the sales assistant. Okay, so in July 20, the sales clerk patiently attended to the customer's complaint. He is polite and he is sincere regarding to solve the customer problems. Okay, on another hand, the bad critical incident may appear as under July 20. The sales assistant stayed 45 minutes over on his break during the busiest part of the day. Means he failed to answer the store's manager's calls thrice. It shows his laziness, it shows his negligence, or as well as his uninterest in the work. Means there are two incidents they have described about the performance of the sales assistant. In first incident, they have communicated the excellent performance of the sales clerk, where he have attended the clients in a most effective manner. In second incident, it was communicated that the performance of the sales assistant is not up to the mark, because in busiest period also he have taken a break, which was shown the laziness behavior of the workers. So these are two different critical incident which was happened in the past, that they are taking as a base for evaluating a performance of the employee. So that is called as a critical incident method. Okay, so next is confidential method or confidential report. In the most of the government departments or public enterprises, performance appraisal done through annual confidential report. Means these reports are written for a unit of 1 year, and the related performance like the ability or characters of employees during the year. Means the written statement is describing the informations about the performance of the employees and ability of the employees or characteristics of the employees during the year. So that may be involves in terms of attendance or self expressions or ability to work with the others or leadership qualities or initiation of the employees toward their work or the technical ability. So these are the ability of employees to understand the new material. So these all are the parameters are going to be observing throughout the year, and based on that confidential report they are going to taking a certain decisions in terms of promotion or in terms of demotion. So that is called as a confidential report method. Next is group appraisals. So under this group appraisal method, employees are rated by an appraisal group consisting of their supervisors and 3 or 4 other persons who have same knowledge of their performance. Means the supervisors explaining to the group the nature of his subordinates duties. Means here the 3 or 4 other persons may not know about the subordinates, so they can be credited the informations about the subordinate by the supervisors, because supervisor is that person who is going to be monitoring the activities of the subordinate. So along with the supervisors, other appraisers or other evaluators, they are going to evaluating the performance of the employees. Okay, so the group then discuss the standards of the performance for that job and the actual performance of the employees and what are the causes of their particular level of performance, and they are also offering a suggestions for employees for a future improvements. So if this method is free from all personal bias, because appraisal may be done by multiple persons. Means more than one person is engaging to monitor or evaluate the performance of employees. Means along with the supervisors, the firm is also allotted a few more persons to evaluate the performance of the employees. So that process is called as a group appraisal method. So next is other traditional method. In other traditional methods we can be see several methods. The first may be checklist. Okay, so checklist is nothing but in this method raters does not evaluate the performance of the employee's performance. He supplies reports about it, and the final rating is done by the personal department. Means here a series of questions are presented concerning an employees to his behavior. Means here they are designing a certain statements. Okay, that state asking the raters to give a opinion about the performance of the appraisers by ticking the particular statement which is described in the particular checklist. So that method is called a checklist. Okay, so next one is field review method. In field review method is going to be done by outside the departments, where the evaluator or appraisers they are engaging to be or review the performance of the employees when the employees are engaged to perform his particular duty or task. Means here analyzer or appraiser or evaluator, they are coming in the field of employees work, and then they are comparing the then they are evaluating the performance of the employees in the particular field. So that is called a field review method. So these are different methods we can be see in the case of traditional method. So next one is modern method. The modern method, first method is assessment method. Assessment is an central location. Okay, so this assessment centers may be conducted to evaluate the performance of the manager position. Means an assessment center, it is a central location where the managers may comes to together to participate in job related exercises, and that going to be evaluated by trained observer. The main idea is to evaluate the managers over a period of time by observing and then later evaluating their behavior across the series of the selected exercises or work samples. Means here managers are asked to participate in basket exercises or work group based activities or computer simulation activities or role play or other activities, so which requires the same attributes for successful performance as on the actual job. Means after recording their observation, then the rates meets to discuss these observations. The decisions regarding the observation of each manager is based upon the discussion of the observations. So here in assessment centers, certain exercises are going to be allocating to the all participants and asking of participants to participate in the particular activities. So when the participants are engaging to perform the particular activities, then the evaluator or appraisers, they are going to engaging to evaluating the performance of the employees. So that is called as a assessment center. Okay, so next one is 360-degree performance appraisal method. So this 360-degree performance appraisal is one of the most famous method which is adopted by many companies. So in 360-degree appraisal method, the firms are going to be appraising or evaluating a performance of the employee by considering the several persons opinions or several people's opinions regarding the performance of the employees. So this they in 360-degree appraisal may have four different components. One is self appraisal, next is superior appraisal, next subordinates appraisal, and next is a peer appraisal. So first, self appraisal means it's giving a chance to employees to look his or her strength and weaknesses and his achievements and judge his own performance. So that is called as a self appraisal. Means here firms are giving a chance to employees to appraise himself in terms of identifying his own strengths or his own weaknesses, as well as see his own achievements, then judge his own performance. Okay, so next they are using superior appraiser. After giving a chance for employees to appraise themselves, next the firms are engaging to conducting a superior appraisal, which is the traditional part of 360-degree performance appraisal, where employees responsibilities and actual performance is rated by the superior. Okay, so the superiors are going to be rating the performance of the employees based on the responsibilities or based on the task which is allocated to a particular employee. So that is called superior appraisals. Next is subordinates appraisals. Subordinates are given a chance to judge the employees on the parameters like communication or motivating abilities or superior ability to delegate the work or leadership qualities. Means motivation, communication and leadership qualities they're taking as a base, and then they're going to evaluating a performance of the employees. So that is called the subordinate employees. Subordinate employees are those employees who are working with that particular employee. Next is peer appraisal. Peer appraisal, also known as an internal customer, where the correct feedbacks given by the peer, which can be helped to find out employees' ability to work in a team or cooperation or sensitivity towards the others. Means peer appraisal is helping for our firms to know how employee is going to be interacting with the other employees when he is engaging to work in a team. So this way, and the one particular employee performance is going to evaluating by considering self appraisal, by taking opinion of supervisors, by taking opinion of peer, and by taking opinion of subordinates. Means here there are four different kind of the peoples are engaged to evaluate the performance of the employee. So that is called as a 360-degree appraisals. Okay, so next is behavioral anchored rating scale. Means is also known as a behavioral expectation scale. Okay, so this method represents the latest innovation in performance appraisal. Means it is a combination of rating scale as well as critical incident techniques which are used for appraising the performance of the employees. Means in behavioral anchored rating scale, both rating scale as well as critical incidents they are taking as a base to evaluate the performance of the employees. Next is management by objectives. So in management by objectives, management by objectives may require the managers to set the specific goals with each employee, then periodically discuss his progress towards the goals. Means here when the management is engaging to fix the goals or fix the standards, they are inviting the employees to be involved in setting the goals or setting the objectives. So here MBO can be modest scale with the subordinates and superiors jointly setting the goals and periodically providing the feedback. Means here subordinates as well as management or superiors, they coming together, and then they're setting the goals, and the goals are going to be they're going to be evaluate the performance of the employees based on the goals on periodical basis, and they also collecting a feedback from the employees regarding achievement of the particular goals. Okay, so here certain steps they are following when they are engaging in management by objective. First means they will set the overall organizational goals, then they will set the department goals, then they will set the what are the expected results from the individual person or individual goals or the target. Next they are engaging in reviewing or evaluating the performance of the appraisals, then they're getting a feedback about the performance of the employees. Means here the first they will set overall organization goals, then they're coming towards the department where they're setting a department goals, and then they're communicating what the firm is expecting from the particular individual person. Means here they're determining the individual target or individual goals to each and every employee. So based on that individual goals or standards, the employees performance is going to be evaluated. Means employees actual performance they are comparing with the standards which they have set it as in terms of individual goals or targeted goals. Then they are going to be evaluating the performance of the employees, and they're collecting a feedbacks to know about the performance level of the employees. So that is called as a management by management by objectives. Okay, so last one is human resource accounting. So human resource accounting, before discussing human resource accounting, we should know human resources act as a asset for often any organization. Okay, this asset can be valued in terms of money. Means here human resource accounting method, it is attaching with the money values to the value of internal human resource and the external customers goodwill. Means here when competent well trained employee will leave the organization, then human asset is decreased and the firm may face a loss, or it may be increase the it may be where the firm may face the they may face to lose the talented employees in their organization. So in under the human resource accounting, performance is judged in terms of how much cost is incurred by firm to select or recruit or train or compensate the employee. In return of that, how much contributions they are getting from the particular employee. So the difference between a cost and contribution, it will reflect the performance of the employee. So that method is called as a human resource accounting system.